Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic
to the nation, to God, with full justice for all.
Great. All right, so I'd like to call the meeting to order. Just for the record, we have Jared Garrettson here, Tom Gibb is here, Corey Nassau is here, I am here. So we have 4 members present and accounted for. We've got 5 members in the audience for those that are on Zoom, since you can't see them. And it looks like on Zoom, if I can't see who the names are, but it looks like 2, 4, 5, 6 people out in the Zoom world. So welcome to everybody up for tonight's meeting. So our first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes from October 20th. A regular meeting. Let's see, the next one then is work session for October 27th. October 29th was a work session. And November 12th was another work session. So let's start with the October 20th regular meeting. Does anybody have any amendments or changes, items they'd like to bring forward? Trustee meeting and the Board of Health meeting on October 20th. Corey's okay, Tom's okay, Jared's okay. I didn't see anything on that one. Then the next one is work session October 27th. The budget proposal and budget amendment. Any changes or additions to that one? All right, then October 29th was the work session, the Wildfire Resiliency Code. Didn't see any changes on that. And then November 12th was the work session we discussed the 2026 budget and then zoning code updates.
Yeah, this is Tom. So on the zoning code updates, just before you get to the last paragraph, there's the mayor and trustees moved on in agreement with the plan development wording. I would like to include in that no vote was actually taken on that, but the board did move on.
Okay. Stacy, do you see that? I didn't see where he's at.
Yes.
I know what he's saying. I just didn't. Oh,
That's
okay.
at the bottom of the page.
The first page. I got you. I was looking.
Other than that,
Okay. Any other changes, recommendations, modifications? I'd entertain a motion if we're okay with that.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes with the slight amendment from Tom.
Do I have a second?
This is Jared, my second.
We've got a motion and a second to accept the meeting minutes as written with the one amendment on November 12th from Tom Davis. So I'd like that in here. So all in favor say aye.
right.
Aye. And I said aye. I did. So that carries 4-0. All right, second item on the agenda is to review the treasurer's report. Discussion surrounding either the balance sheet or the budget versus actuals. I'll just make a comment. It looks like for the year, we're still doing quite well and on track to not exceed our budgets. All right, then how about the disbursements?
Stacy, I did have one question. Can we see under Parks and Rec and Town Hall, do you ever find out the negative expenses?
No, excuse me, I have not been able to dig into that yet.
Okay,
But that will be forthcoming, before the end of the year, certainly, hopefully before.
but
Well, yes, hopefully before that, so we all have a chance to review it. That's the goal.
All right, how about on disbursements? Any questions on disbursements for the month? The October into November. All right. If there's no questions or comments, then I'll entertain a motion for the disbursements.
This is Jara, and I make the motion that we approve the disbursements for November.
Do I have a second?
I'll take that motion.
Got a motion and a second to approve the disbursements for November as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item number 3. Discuss with possible action or resolution number 6 that provides for CIRSA that certain commissioners or board members are not considered employees of the town, not considered employees within the meaning of the workers' compensation laws. And this is a resolution that CIRSA, our insurance company, requires us to do annually. So do we have any questions on resolution number 6?
Should be, this is,
You're on.
this is Tom. Would you like to elaborate on certain?
So, as far as commissioners, certain
Yeah.
commissioners,
Like additional positions.
okay, which positions? So cemetery board members, the ditch commissioners, the town hall commissioners, and the parks and rec commissioners would be excluded. And since they are unpaid employees.
Thank you.
And this is just a standard, basically have to do this every year.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was. We do this annually, but and I thought it included all commissions.
It would, but at our the latest work session on the budget, we wanted to start compensating some of the commissioners.
I was hoping we could do that legally in a way that we wouldn't have to.
So I'll send it back to Hillary. I know she gave us a response back on it saying that well, go ahead, Hillary. I'll let you say it. Let me say it.
Yeah, so there's a weird echo. So under the workers' compensation law, any form of compensation renders somebody an employee. So there's really not a way to fashion it so that they get paid and they're not an employee. So only unpaid positions can be excluded. And this is just for workers' comp coverage, if they're hurt on the job or in the course of their official duties. That's when CIRSA's coverage would come in. So.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions from the board? I'm going to open up to public comments if anybody has any questions on it in the public. I've got one right here. There's a mic there, Jesse, because the people on Zoom will not be able to hear you without.
Jesse James, my question is, are these commissioners and the trustees listed as contract laborers then, or what is going to be their criteria?
But for this resolution, those members that are gonna have compensation won't be considered in this at all.
So the people who are listed and are excluded,
Like,
oh.
Go
Can I,
ahead,
do
Hillary.
you want me to respond to that? So the
Please.
positions that are listed as excluded are still appointed officials. They're just not employees.
And like Hillary said, this is for workers' compensation, not being excluded from CIRSA or insurance company. Any other questions from Zoom? I can't see that far away if anybody has their hand raised on Zoom.
No hands are raised.
Back up to the board if there's any other questions. No other questions, and I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to, accept and pass the resolution regarding workers' comp servicing as presented.
A motion, do I have a second?
This is Jerry, second.
We have a motion and a second to accept resolution number 6. Trustees of the town of Pitkin, providing certain elected and or appointed officials of the town of Pitkin shall be deemed not to be employees with the meaning of workers' compensation ordinance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4. We've been looking for posted for an environmental health agent position since April, they've been before April of last year. And Josh Ackerman has sent an email to the town saying that he would like to be considered for that position of environmental health agent. So before I say any more, I'd like to let Josh have the opportunity to sell himself.
So I've been a commissioner, Parks and Rec commissioner since I believe last April. So I saw the position open and I know it's an important position for the town. So me being a volunteer, I want to step up to the plate and help out. I know there's a couple courses that I need to take that will supplement that position. So I would ask if I am appointed to the position that the town might reimburse me for those certifications that I need to hold. Other than that, I'm ready to step up.
All right, so I will just say to one of Josh's points is in our discussions for the budget for 2026. We did put funding in the budget, thanks to Tom bringing it up, that we might need to step up and pay for that training course. So we did put money in the budget for 2026. So.
And I understand it's a Zoom training. So if appointed, I mean, I'll get it done within the next month or so. Couple months, I don't know how long it takes.
NAWT has certain dates
Okay.
that they offer the course, and you can do it either in person or you can do it through Zoom with that training session. I did not look to see when their training sessions were.
So this is Tom. Did you take this on Zoom?
I did not. Chad Varnell.
Opportunity to just make the drive and do it in person the first time.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot more informative subsequent Zooms that I have taken. On Zoom, they Zoom.
That's funny.
So,
Where's the class at?
well,
Yep.
so
Do they have-
I went to Denver one time, and then another time they had it right out here at the fairground.
It varied from what I saw when I looked at it last year. It varies on different locations throughout the state.
It's just a thought. If that,
So,
I mean, I'm not saying don't take it on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you have the opportunity to set it in on an in-person one, plus they feed you pizza.
Okay.
Free pizza.
bonus.
Definitely. Okay.
All right, so are there any questions from the board members?
Do I get a badge? Just a question.
I probably went on eating.
Bye. I'm gonna get a big official badge.
I don't know about badge, but you might talk to this last former or environment health person, because that involved some underwater goggles and swim fins.
Okay. Duly noted.
No, thank you very much.
Any other questions from the board?
No, just glad somebody's stepping up.
Believe me. We'll open it up to public comments if there's any public comments from either in-house or on Zoom.
Praise God and get her done.
So I did talk to Josh the other day when he said that he would be interested in it. Told him I'd be more than happy to share with him our tracking spreadsheet. And he asked me what might be required for the board for him to do or give on a monthly basis. So I did ask that tracking spreadsheet, particularly once we get more into season, that it's sent to the Environmental Health Board of Trustees on a monthly basis prior to our meetings, so we can see where we stand. And I feel like with Josh taking it on with his background and what he does with Granger, I think that the tracking spreadsheet would be real easy for him. I've already pulled up on the spreadsheet that we actually have 53 inspections due next year. So we can discuss further after tonight. Did throw it out there. Did speak with our former mayor yesterday, I think it was, and his recommendation was that we notify sooner rather than later, instead of waiting until April to send out the letters. Maybe we send them out sooner, like the 1st of January. He had a good point, and I'm going to throw it out here since we're talking about it. I'm talking about it. Is that since we've gone to 7-year inspections, there may be more sludge buildup in tanks where they need to be pumped. It's not cheap to have a tank pumped. It could be $900 to $1,300. So people need to start planning and budgeting for that, especially kind of the climate we're in right now. So I think that's what I'm doing. Kind of way off base there, but we're only going to do that for Josh, if he's so appointed. Any other comments from Zoom? All right,
Nope.
bring it back up to the board up here.
Can I make a comment?
Oh, no, there is one,
Okay.
one hand up. I apologize, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I want to express my gratitude to Josh for stepping up to do this. I understood during the conversation that he was interested in getting the training as soon as possible. And Tom suggested that he perhaps would want to attend some of those sessions in person. But I also heard you say that you had budgeted in 2026 for these expenses. So I think I want to be sure there's a clear understanding of how that might happen so that somebody doesn't incur some expenses that are, anyway, so that's just a comment. Otherwise, thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Pete, for the comment. I think that's a good point, is we don't want to jump on the training prior to January 1st. From last year, when I looked at it, the last time they did training, I believe it was September, October, at the end of the year. That may be different this year. So a good point to bring forward. All right, any final questions from the board? I will make a motion on this one to accept and appoint Josh Ackerman to the position of our environmental health agent for the town of Pitkin.
I'll second the motion.
We have a second. Excuse me, you have a motion and a second.
Can I ask a question here?
Yes, Tom.
You had a very good point. We budgeted in 2026. What have we got on the table if we get this done? Pull that out of some.
I don't know if we can pull it out of some other budget or not.
We just,
Let's,
we'll get it done.
yeah, I agree. Get it in.
And 26 isn't very far off. Maybe Josh would ask for reimbursement after January 1st if he gets that in before the end of the year.
I was gonna say that, if they have a class now, I'll just do it now and just save the receipt. And I can just give it to the board, the receipt in 2026, not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. So if they have it in 2025, I'll get it done. And just hold on to the receipt.
All right.
Sounds good to the treasurer.
Okay, so we've got motion, a second, in favor, say aye. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. All right, next item on the agenda is to discuss with possible action to hold a public hearing and consider for adoption the 2025 budget amendment and the 2026 budget proposal. This item does contain a public hearing. So I'm going to start with the public hearing. We prefer to start with the 2025 budget amendment first, so we'll keep the two separated a little bit. So 723, I will open for public comments of any comments regarding let's start with the 2025 budget amendment. Elaborate on that. So the 2025 budget amendment is the change that was necessary, or that is necessary, is one change, and that is on the account for street maintenance expenses. In 2025, the budget was reduced from 20,000 down to 15,000 for the budget. We're actually over that budget. Sure, my number I have right here is the latest that Sarah just gave us. What's the age? Well, revenues. So, Stacy, if you get there before I do, there it is.
Let's see.
Where's the industry?
Same path.
So right now we're at 20,261.40. And that was as of today. And so we're about $100 more than what we were when I sent this out for the meeting on Wednesday. So roughly 20,200 is where we're at today. The budget proposed or amendment is to increase it by $7,000 to a total of $22,000. I give it just a little bit of cushion for between now and the end of the year in case something comes up with the street expense that we need to address. And then to offset that fund off the budget, we pull that money from our fund equity until the end of the year when all the taxes come in and split up. So any public comments on the amended budget for 2025? All right, Jesse is raising his hand back there. So we're in public comments, so.
Not having a crystal ball. I know there are $500 that has not been submitted to this date.
Okay.
And we got a month and a half yet before the end of the year. So rather than have to do it later, I would ask that you make it a little higher than $22,000. And if you don't spend it, it's no problem, but it's paperwork and quite a ritual to increase it if you do go over.
So the proposed amendment is $1,800 over where we currently are today. So if we have 500 outstanding, we're still $1,300 over what we spent or what we've projected for the rest of the year. And that's just,
That we're at 18,500, make it 13, and then make it 23.
no, we're at 20,200 right now. And our amended budget is 22,000. So that's $1,800.
Yeah, not fit. I just was liking more cushion just in case, so we didn't have to go through this again. Thank you.
That is separate though too from our snow plowing expense as well. Any other public comments from the amended budget for 2025? No one from the Zoom?
Nope, nothing online.
Okay, how about we move to the 2026 proposed budget? Hopefully, folks out on Zoom or even in the room were able to pull the draft down off the website and review it. I have a breakdown of each one of the items, but I don't know if it's necessary if we go through each one of those items. Yes, Alicia, grab the mic, please.
I guess. Okay, my question would be, what expenses increased more than like 5% from the year before? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that would be my question, and why, if there's, or it's just inflation is 5%, that's just the way it is. How did you guys increase from the prior?
Okay. I don't have the breakdown by percentage, but I can run through, I think I can run through the expenses fairly fast on each line item and give you what the budget was, where we were at, and what we've proposed in 2026, if you would like for me to do.
It's the most.
Okay, so do you want both expenses and revenue? Revenue, keep in mind on revenue is not fully baked because of the mill levy that we have not received from the county assessor. Okay. So I'll start with revenue. I'm gonna run down, I'll try to go as fast as I can here. So in 2025, the proposed revenue for town sales taxes was 75,000. In 2024, I know we were over 80,000. And the numbers aren't even close to coming in yet because they're 3 months delayed. So we're only actual right now, we're only 21,000. But I feel pretty confident based on what last year was that we'll be probably closer to the 85,000 in sales tax revenue. We proposed for the 2026 budget a $5,000 increase from 2025 proposed of 75,000 to 80,000, which I think is a conservative proposal on revenue. We did not change any of the other revenue for 2026. We rolled those over to match what they were in 2025. Under building permits for revenue, 2025 proposed was $4,000 in building permits revenue. we've ended up so far this year at $8,500. We proposed for 2026 building permit revenue at $5,000. After some discussion in our workshop with what's going on with our our energy code implementation that we've got to do next year, our wildfire resiliency codes, we don't feel confident that the building permits are going to be as numerous as they were this year. So that's at $5,000. So we increased it from 2025 proposed to 26 proposed by $1,000. Our OWTS administration fee revenue in 2025 was proposed of $100. OWT administration fee revenue is from OWTS installations or repairs and inspections. We know for 2026, there are 53 inspections that will be due at $25 a piece. That's $1,325 just in OWTS inspection fees. That's no new OWTS installations or repairs. So we brought that off at $1,325 down to $1,250. So we anticipate a pretty good revenue increase from OWTS administration fee last year. And just an FYI, in the past, our $25 OWTS administration fee went into the bucket and was not used for anything. So this year we had we actually had 26 OWTS inspections at $25 a piece put into the bucket for them to sit. Just an FYI. So overall, just on those increases, we increased the budget on revenue of $11,772. Now for the expenses. The Pitkin Volunteer Fire Department donation in the past has been $8,250. We had a letter from the Pitkin Volunteer Fire Department asking if we could increase that donation this year in 2026 to $10,250. I have asked the letter that I sent back to the Volunteer Fire Department that they give us a trend analysis for the last several years to show us what their expenses have done and how they've gone up to justify the $2,250. In that letter, I did ask that we would receive that information prior to the board next year issuing the donation check, which usually happens around April. We increased, nope, we did not increase the building inspector fee. We kept that the same. That's the expenses. We did look at pay for the mayor and for the board of trustees. The board decided the pay for the mayor, instead of $300 a month, which is $3,600 for last year, should be increased to $6,000 for next year. So from $300 a month to $500 a month for the mayor services. The board of trustees in the past have received $25 per month. After some discussion with the amount of time that's spent by the trustees, it was decided to move that to $100 per month per trustee. So the budget was moved from $1,200 to $4,800. We did increase our legal expenses from $20,000 to $25,000. PHCA was increased by $500. We did reduce enforcement from $6,000 in the budget from 2025 for an enforcement officer down to $3,000, with the idea of knowing that that would take an ordinance to put on an enforcement officer. Ordinances, what we've seen this year, ordinances are taking at least 3 months to try to work through the public hearings and approvals and everything. So we realistically, even in January, if we decided to do an enforcement officer, it's probably going to be mid-year before that would ever happen. So we did reduce that budget down to $6,000. I'm sorry, $3,000. Thank you. The next one that we changed with any significance at all is election expenses. 2025, there was proposed of $18,000 for election expenses, with the thinking that we might have had 2 elections to hold, one for mayor, one for board of trustees. In 2026, we proposed $3,000 for election expenses, since we will have an election next April. If we have more than 4 board of trustees and more than 2 mayors that want to run, and we hold an election, and we would, for that election, we would use the town clerk to hold that election with some training from our outside vendors. So we set that election expense at $3,000. Significantly. But it's the environmental health expense previously was $150 for the environmental health agent. And we did discuss for the environmental health agent should be reimbursed at $20 for each OWTS inspection, where the town collects $25. So based upon the number of inspections that should be done next year, we raised that budget to $550. Oh, actually, the $400 for the training was in the budget. Mayor manager meeting expense stayed the same. I'm not actually clear from our mayor manager group if we will hold a meeting in Pitkin next year. So we may not even need that money. Street maintenance, we looked at the amendment for 2025, but for 2026, it was a $15,000 budget. We increased that budget to $25,000, since we are already at this year, we're 22. We haven't decided for next year to go and increase it to 25,000. Snow plowing stayed the same. Ditch expenses stayed the same. There was a change in our town hall expenses for repairs and maintenance. So we have in 2025, we had $35,768 budgeted for repairs and maintenance on the town hall. What that was for is for the crack that's in the side of the town hall. That's offset with a grant that we are eligible to receive from the state of Colorado. That grant, I'm looking for the number, roughly over $26,000 for that grant. We did increase the expense on the repairs and maintenance from the $35,768 to $44,766. So it's about a $9,000 increase on that repairs and maintenance. And the reason for that is when that grant was written, which was about 4 years ago, the grant was written for roughly $1,500 for the archaeologists that we are required to have to do the repairs, to watch the repairs, and then report back to the state. The state informed me, as well as the archaeologist that was identified at the time, that that number is closer to $8,000 to $10,000 for the archaeologist to come in. So any overage we have from that grant, the town will have to endure and pay for those overages. So that is why we had to increase the repairs and maintenance for the town hall from what it was at last year. Then that is the changes that we made to the budget, increase the budget for 2026.
Thank you.
Well, any other comments from the Zoom meeting? Ring?
No.
No comments?
No comments.
Okay, then we'll 7:41, I'm going to close the public hearing. So with hearing from the public, I don't see any comments or changes we made or anything we made on the budget that we need to go back and readdress. We don't, like I said earlier, we don't have the mill levy from the county assessor's office yet. What I'm unclear about, and I'm gonna ask our town attorney, is with not having that mill levy, even though we have plenty of funds available to actually cover this budget already, can we move forward on the resolution, Hillary, or do we need to wait until we have the mill levy information?
Well, so I think the safest course of action would be you can close the public hearing. You've already met that obligation, and you did in fact close the public hearing. But you can hold off on the budget and adopt it at the same time as the mill levy resolution, which would be by special meeting, I presume. And then you can be sure that they'll square up. You could adopt the amended budget tonight because that's not going to change. So if you wanted to split up the resolution, you could do half of it or just save it all for the special meeting.
Okay, so thank you for that, Hillary. So we already have a resolution written. We'll have to change dates on it. We have a resolution that combined both the amended budget and the proposed budget. So my feelings and my suggestion is we hold a special meeting. I believe it's prior to December 15th. We have to have the mill levy.
That's correct.
So I know some of us are going to be out of town, starting like on December 4th. So I'm very hopeful that we can have that mill levy by, say, December 2nd. If we did a special meeting on December 2nd to finalize it and to do the resolution, would everybody be available at least either in person or on Zoom on December 2nd?
I am for sure. Yep, I am.
I doubt that I
You
won't be here,
You-
and I couldn't be on Zoom.
you can't be on Zoom?
I would try, but I don't think so.
Um, what would December 1st? No, you're leaving.
No. Yeah, we'll be gone right after Thanksgiving for at least a week.
Okay. So what are,
Now, the third, I might be on Zoom, but you would have a quorum. Yeah,
we'd have a quorum on the 2nd if you weren't able to get on.
yeah, yeah.
The 3rd, I'm not gonna be able to, I'm gonna be driving all day. And then about 8 o'clock at night. So,
Mayor, I don't know that it
What about-
matters, but I'm not available on the 2nd.
okay,
You could certainly meet without me. Just wanted you to know.
okay, thank you. Now, if we could have the information, today's the 17th. If we could have the information by the 26th, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, is that doable?
Yep,
Okay,
I'll be on Zoom, but I can basically do any day but December 5th and 6th, but I don't think we'll do meetings on the weekends.
no. I'm gonna see, Stacy, would it be possible tomorrow to call the county assessor's office? If you'd like, I'll run the phone, look them in the eyes. Like,
I could do that as well because I'll be in town a little bit tomorrow. So I can absolutely,
if you would tomorrow, stop by there. Tell them we're really in a pinch. We need their numbers. They were supposed to mail it out last week. And see if we can get it ASAP, because I'd like to sit down with you and plug all those numbers into our budget so everything's ready to go on the 26th.
yes, perfect.
Okay. So hopefully, quick. So tentatively, let's say November 26th for a special meeting. Budget in the middle of. Be nice to get that done if we can before Thanksgiving and.
Yeah.
No, don't have to worry about things.
Be 7 in the evening.
Yes. Unless the board wants a different time.
Doesn't matter for me.
I did change the clock so it won't look like 10 or 10:30. All right, so we've had the public hearing, we've closed the public hearing. How about we do a motion on a tentative special meeting for November 26th?
I'll make a motion that we hold a special meeting to discuss budget and pass resolutions, potentially pass resolutions on 11/26 at 7 p.m.
This is it, I will second that. So we've got a motion and a second for November 26th special meeting. Tentative date, 26, if we have it, no, let me all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, so that should close that item on our agenda. Moving along. What's that? That's because my computer shut off. There. 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 All right, so on the agenda under updates, planning, discussion, we still have the 2021 energy code that we know we have to adopt. I put on here, and I know we talked about it before, to do a work session. But I need the board to tell me, the 2021 energy code, we don't have an option. So if we do a work session, it's basically trying to identify what's in the 2021 energy code that we don't have any option on any. I just know the one option that we have, and that is to wait till July 1st or after next year, adopt the 2021 energy code, and then we will be forced to go to the 2024 low carbon energy code. If we wait till July 1st, if we wait till July 1st to adopt the 2021 energy code. So we don't have to have a work session. I don't think we need to have a work session just to talk about the 2021 energy code. We just need to wrap it in with the ordinance, with our building code, our wildfire resilience code, and the energy code, possibly the zoning code, all into one ordinance that we adopted one time. So Hillary, I've got a question, just came to mind, if you would please. So the wildfire resiliency code, we have to adopt by April 1st of next year. But the energy code, we do not have to adopt until prior to July 1st of next year. So if we roll all these codes into one ordinance, can we specify different dates that we adopt each one of those ordinances? Effective dates?
Yes, you can specify different effective dates. Yep.
Say that again.
Yes, you can specify different effective dates.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Okay, question. Does our zoning code have to go to public hearing?
So
It does.
Yes, the zoning code will go to a public hearing.
So we just have to get that in.
It's possible, unless Hillary corrects me, it's possible that we do a public hearing for the zoning code, the wildfire resiliency code, the energy code, and the building code all at one time. Or if the board feels like we need to set up a public hearing separate for the zoning code of the other codes, we can do that. And hold two different public hearings.
Well, this is Tom, and that would be my vote. Because you don't know what's.
That's why
The others are just.
the others, they are what they are, so, okay. Okay, so we don't have to set those tonight. We'll have time, we could either, I guess we. Does the board want to do a public hearing on any of those codes in December? No. Okay. So then we'll do public hearings starting in January on those codes.
Not trying to speak for everybody, but I know how December is, and people got travel plans and vacation, and families and friends. Last thing you want to do is pile a bunch of meetings in December.
So what we might do then in December, in our December meeting, is set the dates for the public hearing. It's in January. That's okay with me.
So on our dates up there, planning and discussion, WTS 43 updates.
That one's set. That's Wednesday night. That one's definite, because that one had to be published too.
Oh. That's like day after tomorrow.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Okay, so I'm making some notes here so I don't forget. So the December meeting, we set dates for public hearing. Zoning. Wildfire. Energy. Okay. So then the next point on there, under the updates planning discussion that Tom brought up, is Wednesday night at 7:00. A day after tomorrow. We do have a public hearing for the OWTS Reg 43 updates that the state requires. And it is, in all honesty, there's very few minor changes that the state required in the OWTS Reg 43 updates. But we have met the state's requirement. They told us given us the letter saying that the ordinance that we put together is exactly what they wanted. So we'll have a public hearing on that Wednesday night at 7:00. And I will give a little bit of insight as to what any of those changes were at that public hearing, which we put in mind. Then the last item that I have on the back side, unless Stacy has something, under reports for the mayor report, it's going to be real brief. At our last board meeting, environmental health meeting, we identified 4 properties in town that have not completed their OWTS inspections by September 15th. So a letter was drafted by our town attorney and I signed it. And those letters were sent to 4 individuals 2 weeks ago. By certified mail. I don't know, Stacy, have you got any of those receipts back?
Yes, I got one back from Rand Mikowski.
Okay. Those letters were also posted on the properties as well. I have no doubt that all 4 individuals have seen and read the letters. Now we'll wait and see. I will tell you, one of the letters, I texted the individual because he's been out in Greece, was supposed to be back in the middle of December. Texted him and let him know that I did post a letter on his door, as well as send him a certified letter, explained to him why. And he already knew he was supposed to get it done, thought he was going to be back in the middle of November, so that he would get it taken care of as soon as he got back, which now I think it's gonna be the first week of December, but if he can't then, he will have it taken care of by the June 1st. That's the only one I've heard back from directly that said that'd be on. So, but those letters did go up. I don't have anything else on the mayor report. I didn't write down anything else anyway, so we wanted to let the board know those letters went. There are WTF violations. And we have the public hearing for OWTS ordinance Wednesday night. Phone is blowing me. So that's all I have for mayor report. Stacy, I don't know if you got anything.
I don't have anything.
Okay, and I think for written reports, I believe. I know we got one from Jesse. I don't know, did you have anything for building inspector?
There's a few things going on, but nothing too
Drastic.
drastic.
Okay. And I don't know that we got any other reports in. Jesse's got a comment, I think, on his.
Yes, seeing the agenda up there, we did not have a zoning board meeting last Monday night, a week ago tonight. And no activity was to be done except improvements in the previous meeting. And the cemetery is closed down for the winter. But if somebody needs in, got keys to get in. Both the top and bottom gates are closed.
I'd rather stay out of there myself.
Well, we have some activity. On the cemetery board is taking care of it. Martha is out of town and probably wasn't privy to what's going on, but yes, we have amazingly had activity.
Okay.
And Jesse is still able to do those, so that's good.
Uh-oh.
What he said.
All right, so with that, that takes us to the last item. Okay. Yes, Fred, give me the mic. One last question. This was someone on Zoom that I can't see.
So, you said you sent out the layers, the letters. Was there a fine for those that did not comply?
For the OWTS violations? Yes, there's a fine starting June 1st of $50 per day. As per our OWTS ordinance.
Right, thank you.
All right, so the last item on the agenda is to adjourn, so I'll entertain motion for adjournment before 8 o'clock.
This is Jared, I so move.
I'll second it. We've got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and we'll see some of you Wednesday night. Take the batteries out because batteries guys